Have you ever thought, what would happen if a heart attack hit and you were completely alone? Nearly 70% of people over 60 don't know this. Your chances of surviving a heart attack can vanish in just 3 minutes. Not because no one is there to help, but because you don't know what to do. As a physician who has worked with hundreds of older adults, I've seen it far too often. But here's the good news. There are 7 simple steps you can learn right now. That could save your life when no one else is around. You'll learn how to recognize the earliest warning signs, how to keep your heart from spiraling into full arrest, and how to buy the critical time you need before help arrives. Let me tell you about Richard, 74. He was pouring a cup of tea when he felt a strange tightness in his chest. Not pain, just pressure. He remembered one thing: chew an aspirin. That single decision likely saved his life. So if you live alone or love someone who does, stay with me. One moment of hesitation could be the one you never come back from. Don't wait to find out the hard way. Here are the 7 steps every senior must know, starting with the very first warning sign. Step 1. Recognizing the earliest warning signs. Senior heart attack tips. Survive heart attack alone. The very first and most important thing you must do to survive a heart attack alone is to recognize what it feels like, not just in your chest, but throughout your body. Most people expect a dramatic, crushing pain, like in the movies. But in reality, real heart attacks often begin quietly with symptoms that are subtle, vague, and easy to ignore. You might feel a deep, uncomfortable pressure in the center of your chest, like something heavy is pressing down, or as if your chest is slowly filling with cement. It might come and go, making you think it's nothing serious. But here's the key: if that feeling lasts more than a few minutes or keeps returning, don't dismiss it. Other early signs include shortness of breath, even when sitting still, a strange ache in your jaw, shoulder, or upper back, lightheadedness, cold sweat, nausea, or sudden fatigue. And especially for older adults or women, the pain might feel more like pressure in the stomach or back, not the chest. Let me share a real story. Richard, 74, was sitting at his kitchen table when he felt a tightness right under his collarbone. It didn't hurt, it just felt off. Then he realized he couldn't take a full breath. His hands started to sweat. He remembered reading somewhere that not all heart attacks start with pain, so instead of brushing it off, he acted. And that decision likely saved his life. I always tell my patients this: the body whispers before it screams. In a heart attack, those whispers are your only shot to act before the damage begins. If you're waiting for that dramatic, movie-style collapse, you may already be too late. So the next time you feel something's not right, especially a mix of pressure, shortness of breath, or unusual fatigue, stop what you're doing. Sit down. Don't tough it out. Don't assume it's nothing, because your life might depend on how seriously you take that first sign. Step 2. Call emergency services immediately. Senior heart attack tips. Heart attack first aid over 60. The moment you suspect a heart attack is starting, don't wait. Don't hesitate. Call emergency services immediately. This is one of the most critical decisions you'll ever make. And sadly, it's where too many people make the wrong call. They try to drive themselves or wait to see if it goes away. Don't do that. Every minute your heart goes without oxygen, damage is happening. And the longer you wait, the worse the outcome. When you dial 911 or your local emergency number, you're not just calling for a ride. You're activating a team of trained professionals who can start saving your life before you even reach the hospital. They're bringing oxygen, medication, and equipment that could literally restart your heart if it stops. Let me tell you about Linda, 78. She felt a dull ache in her left shoulder, followed by a wave of nausea and cold sweat. She thought about calling her son, but then she remembered what a nurse once told her. If you think you're having a heart attack, call 911 first. Talk to your family later. She made that call. By the time the ambulance arrived, her symptoms had worsened. But because they were prepared, they were able to stabilize her right there in her living room. That phone call saved her life. And here's something else I always tell my patients. You don't need to be sure it's a heart attack to call. Dispatchers won't be upset if it's a false alarm, but they can't help if you don't call. So please, keep your phone close and easy to reach. If symptoms come on and you can't speak, use the emergency call shortcut on your device. Learn it now. It could save your life later. Step 3. Chew an aspirin, slowly and calmly. Senior Heart Attack Tips, Heart Attack First Aid. Over 60. After you've called for help, there's one simple action that can make a life or death difference. Chew an aspirin. Not swallow. Chew. If you're not allergic, and you're not on blood thinners that conflict with aspirin, then chewing a standard 325 milligrams tablet could significantly improve your chances of survival. Why? Because aspirin works by thinning your blood. It slows the growth of the clot that may be blocking blood flow to your heart, the very cause of the heart attack. And chewing it gets it into your bloodstream faster, much faster than swallowing. Every second counts. Let me give you a real example. Joe, 72, felt a heavy pressure spreading from his chest to his jaw. He remembered he kept a bottle of aspirin in the kitchen. He stayed calm, sat down, and chewed one tablet. When paramedics arrived, his condition was serious, but not catastrophic. His cardiologist later said, that aspirin likely reduced the damage to his heart muscle. It may seem like a small act, but it's grounded in science. Emergency responders around the world rely on this one intervention to buy time. And sometimes, that time is all you need. Now, don't take aspirin on an empty stomach if you can avoid it. But in a heart attack, the risk of clotting is far greater than the risk of an upset stomach. And one more thing. Avoid enteric-coated or delayed-release aspirin. But if that's all you have, chew it anyway. Time is more important than type. If you live alone, keep aspirin where it's easy to reach. By your bed, in the kitchen drawer, even in your wallet. Because when seconds matter, you don't want to go searching. You want to act. Step 4. Sit or lie down to protect your heart. Senior Heart Attack Tips. Survive heart attack alone. After calling for help and chewing an aspirin, your next move is simple but critical. Stop moving. Sit or lie down in the safest, most comfortable position you can manage. This isn't the time to pace, unlock doors, or gather anything. Any physical effort increases the strain on your heart, which is already struggling to pump through a blocked artery. Ideally, you should sit upright with your back supported, feet flat, arms relaxed. This position helps lower your heart's workload while you wait. If you feel faint or dizzy, lie on your side with your head slightly elevated. And I want to be clear, this is not the moment to push through or tough it out. That mindset may serve you in many areas of life, but right now, it can cost you everything. Let me tell you about Alice, 81. When she felt tightness across her chest, her first instinct was to tidy up. She didn't want the paramedics seeing a messy kitchen. But then she remembered what her doctor once said. If you think it's your heart, sit down. Everything else can wait. She sank into her favorite recliner and focused on breathing. That stillness, her doctors later said, may have prevented full cardiac arrest. Doing nothing is doing something. It gives your heart a fighting chance. It slows your breathing. It helps your oxygen last longer. So if you ever feel that pressure creep in, the breath shortens, or the sweat starts, don't push through it. Stop what you're doing. Sit. Lie down. Let your body focus on just one job, surviving. Because trying to stay in control may be what makes you lose it. Step 5. Unlock your door for emergency responders. Survive heart attack alone. Heart attack first aid over 60. If you still have the strength, and you're close enough, unlock your front door. It might sound small, but in a heart attack, every second matters. A locked door can delay emergency care.
Paramedics are trained to break in if they must, but forced entry takes time, causes damage, and could put you at further risk if you're nearby. If you can walk safely, do it early, before your symptoms get worse. If it feels risky, don't force it. Sit. Stay still. Let the team figure it out. But if you are close, steady, and able, unlock the door. Leave it slightly open if possible. Let me give you a real example. Paul, 76, lives alone in a small condo. When his symptoms started, he called 911, chewed an aspirin, and unlocked his door, all within 2 minutes. Later, the paramedics told him, "That unlocked door saved us 30 seconds and may have saved your life." Now, if you live in an apartment or a gated community, think ahead. Is your address visible? Can someone nearby access a spare key? Could you install a smart lock or a lockbox with a code? You don't want to wait until you're in pain to figure this out. Preparation is part of survival. And unlocking your door when you can sends a powerful message to the people coming to save you. I'm ready. I've done my part. Now it's your turn. Step 6. Use your phone's speaker and medical ID features. Senior Heart Attack Tips, Heart Attack First Aid, over 60. When you're alone during a heart attack, your phone becomes more than a phone. It becomes your lifeline. The smartest move? Switch to speaker mode. Why? Because gripping your phone, holding it to your ear while you're in distress, adds physical strain. It also makes it harder to breathe. And during a heart attack, your breath matters. Using speakerphone lets you keep both hands free. You can focus on staying still, breathing slowly, while the dispatcher listens in and guides you. Even if you go silent, they can hear your background, your breath, your movements, your condition. But there's something else just as powerful: your phone's medical ID. On iPhones, it's accessible from the lock screen. On Android phones, there's a similar feature, and it contains critical data: your name, age, allergies, conditions, emergency contacts. Let me tell you about Susan, 79. She passed out just moments before help arrived, but because her medical ID was set up, the paramedics immediately saw she was diabetic and allergic to penicillin. That one screen prevented a critical mistake. They also contacted her daughter right from the emergency contact listed in her phone. Setting up your medical ID takes 5 minutes, but in a crisis, it can do what you can't: speak for you. So before this day ends, please, set it up. Include your medications, health conditions, and who to call if you can't speak. If you're watching this for a loved one, set it up for them too, because sometimes the tool that saves your life is already in your pocket. Step 7. Slow your breathing to steady your heart. Senior Heart Attack Tips. Survive heart attack alone. When you're in the middle of a heart attack, panic is your biggest enemy. Your chest tightens, your thoughts race, and every second feels like an hour. But there's one powerful tool you still have: your breath. Controlled breathing won't stop the heart attack, but it can keep your body from spiraling into full shock. It can lower your heart rate, reduce oxygen demand, and stabilize your system until help arrives. You don't need a fancy technique. Just try this. Breathe in slowly through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold it briefly. Then exhale gently through your mouth for 6 seconds. Repeat. Let that rhythm become your anchor, because the more anxious you feel, the harder your heart works. But breathing slowly helps calm your nervous system and prevents dangerous arrhythmias triggered by stress. Let me tell you about Frank, 83. When the pain hit, he said it felt like fear drowning his chest. But he remembered a breathing technique his doctor had taught him during a routine checkup. So he sat still, focused on each breath. Inhale, hold, exhale, over and over. When the paramedics arrived, his heart was still unstable, but not in arrest. He later told me, "I just kept thinking, stay calm, stay alive." And he did. Practice this breathing today, even when you're calm. The more familiar it feels, the more naturally your body will return to it when things go wrong.
Your breath won't fix blocked arteries, but it can buy you time. It can keep oxygen flowing, and sometimes that's all your heart needs to keep beating long enough for help to get there. At the end of the day, surviving a heart attack alone isn't about luck, it's about preparation. It's about staying calm, acting fast, and knowing exactly what to do before the panic takes over. Let's recap. 1. Recognize the early signs. 2. Call for help immediately. Chew an aspirin. 4. Sit or lie down. Don't push through it. 5. Unlock your door if you can. 6. Use speakerphone and medical ID. 7. Control your breathing. Stay calm to stay alive. Each of these steps may seem simple, but together they form a powerful survival chain. A chain that can buy you minutes. And sometimes minutes are everything. Even when you're alone, you're not powerless. Heart attacks may be terrifying, but knowledge is power, and now you have that power. Alas, let me ask you, which of these 7 steps surprised you most today? Was there one you hadn't considered? One you'll start preparing for right now? Leave a comment below. Share your takeaway. And if this video helped you, please share it with someone you care about. You might just help them survive too. Because one day they may be alone, and your simple act of sharing could save their life. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. At Legacy of Wisdom, we're building a trusted library of health tools for seniors, by doctors, so you're never alone with your health again. See you in the next video.